Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, also known as Stalemate Simulator. That is becoming ever more true. There's no doubt about that. Let's go ahead and bring this guy right on over to here. Perfect. This is in the Asian theater. No, I want it to be here. There we go. That'll be fine. So, what are we doing right now? We are mostly waiting on naval experience. It's a enthralling thing to be doing, I suppose. We're also currently producing a large amount of submarines and final battleships. We do still need destroyers and aircraft carriers set up here. So we're still running old school destroyers, and we're not currently making any aircraft carriers. I'd very much like to fix that. Unfortunately, I made battleships with the last experience that we had instead of aircraft carriers. It was not perhaps the brightest thing that I have ever done. So, that's the thing that happened. However, we did just see another bunch of submarines roll off the lines. That's great. We have some military factories finishing up. I don't think we're going to finish this construction this episode, but we're getting kind of close, honestly. We're currently lacking in rubber. Everyone is shocked. Everyone is absolutely shocked by this. I know I am. Okay, so we'll get some additional rubber. Excellent. Now, as far as this over here goes, again, this is a supply issue. This invasion here, this isn't a supply issue, but I'm not actually that keen on this getting going. Like, I'm going to tell these guys to chill. Don't get going on that, because if we were to successfully take this naval base, right? The supply throughput limit here is 6. 6, compared to the supply throughput limit here of 30. 2 additional armies here would not be beneficial for our supply situation. Sure, having armies on this side of this river might be beneficial tactically, strategically. Sure, but logistically, absolutely not. That is 100% not useful for us right now. And I have a feeling that we'd have a hard time getting in there anyway, with the current state of our fleet over here that's intended to be supporting that. Not these guys. That is, of course, this fleet. 2 out of 2 battleships. Oh yes, that's right. Because these are technically battle cruisers that we made. So, close enough. We definitely need to reinforce this fleet, that's for sure. We can see here that we have quite a lot of our submarines reinforced, but we need a whole lot more. Luckily, we are producing a lot of those, and they will be finishing up roughly once a month for every single one of these lines. That's fantastic for us. 109 out of 150 because we are short on rubber. Right. We're probably going to want additional rubber. Fantastic. So our control over the Atlantic is going pretty well, honestly. We've got control all the way around Africa at this point. 100% naval supremacy, I think, in all of these. In some of these locations, we don't have 100% naval supremacy, and that's to be expected, honestly. We're stretched quite thin controlling the entire Atlantic, but this is still something that I am interested in doing. That said, at some point, we are going to have to expand this further, but now is not that point. Right now, we need to be focusing absolutely on increasing our fleets here. So that's just mostly a matter of time. We're going to have some technologies coming in here, and we are, of course, shifting off of naval techs because we've nearly finished those, and we are finishing, or rather, continuing work on our aircraft. Improved rocket engines is going to be finishing up soon enough. We're going to want that going into KSP anyway, even if we don't necessarily want that in this game. We'll see. I mean, it's not like that actually transfers over to KSP, but we'll pretend that it does. Excellent. Improved combat engines. Or jet engines, specifically. Okay, so there are a lot of things to research here, actually. There's a whole lot of things to research here. Let's start working on Scout Planes 2. We're currently making Scout Planes 1. So I think that's something I'm interested in doing. And remember, we need around 47 or so naval experience in order to create our next ship type, which will be an aircraft carrier. I'm almost 46% certain of that. I realize 46% isn't the best odds, and I would complain about that in Rogue Tech. Well, actually, I think if I activate my I was going to say my passive, but activating a passive doesn't make any sense. If we utilize my passive, I think I can get that up to around a 60% confidence, which I think is an improvement. So that's probably going to be what we're going to go for. Now, I'm not too concerned about the Indian Ocean right now. The Pacific Ocean is going to be interesting, trying to get our hands on that. We're ultimately still struggling to control the Atlantic, though, for right now, and I'm reasonably content with the Atlantic. But as I said, it's pretty much just a matter of time, because we just need to get these submarines good to go, and we need to get this naval experience good to go as well. I want to have at least 2 lines, but I'm actually thinking about having 3 lines here of aircraft carriers right now, especially since this is an incomplete line when we are utilizing repairs. Yeah, I'm just checking this. We have some ships in queue, but not too much being queued up for repairs. Okay, just checking. Sounds good to me. We're currently paused. We should probably not be paused. This Close Air Support 1 is going to be finishing up in 24 days. Capital Ship Raiders will be handy. That's for sure. We are currently working on our naval doctrine as well. But the overall plan is to alleviate our supply situation here via airdropping. I have no idea if that's going to work or not. If it does, we can break through this eventually through sheer attrition. As it is right now, we simply can't advance because we don't have the supply throughput. That's all there is to it. We could back off one of these armies, but I'm not sure how useful that actually is. I still wonder what exactly happened here. I'm not sure we'll ever get the answer for that one. This is just a very strange situation. But whatever. I want to check in on our operatives situation here. So if we check in on Newfoundland, we can see that we are currently at 3% communist. That's great. If we check in on Inca, we can see that they are currently up to 4% communism. So that's going everywhere in a huge hurry. Excellent. So we're currently using 504 civilian factories for consumer goods. That's interesting. I mean, I would like to push us into total mobilization. Unfortunately, we are never going to be able to get this, I don't think. Because they need a certain percentage of our factories, and, well, look at us. I don't think it's happening. Now, we could spark a war with Ming. We could open this front. That said, I don't necessarily trust Free India to hold this front. Hello, Tibet. I don't necessarily trust Free India to hold this front, and I feel like we would probably want to have an additional army group over here to make that happen. Now, in the Asian theater, we do currently have the 2 army groups. Where are these guys? Yeah, that's these guys up here. But I really do feel like another army group to hold this line would be necessary. I don't necessarily distrust Free India, but I would feel better about sparking a war with these guys. Is Free India on the border of Kalasuras here? No. I would feel better about sparking a war with Ming if we had another army group over there. We currently don't. We could get one, in theory. I actually want to be in faction map mode. Kalaturis is in our faction? Since when? Okay, whatever. I'll accept it. Although I don't have to like it. Jet Tactical Bombers. Fantastic. Now, we are currently producing Tactical Bomber 2, and we should probably bump that right on up to, let's see here. These are jet fighters, rocket interceptors, Tactical Bomber 3. There we go. We're currently running Fighter 3, and I'd like to switch to Jet Fighter 1. Excellent. Now it's going to take some time for that production efficiency to come up. That's fine. We're going to be switching it again relatively soon, but we're producing 5.13 per day, so I'm okay with that. Jet fighters are flowing off the lines. I do like to see that. And then it's just the 1944 submarine hull Mark 1. Wait, where are we producing a 1944 submarine hull Mark 1? Here. There we go. Got that switched over. Fantastic. We have free military factories. Okay. Well, what are we shortest on? Let's hop into our logistics here. And yeah, this is our daily equipment balance. We're currently lacking some motorized and mechanized. 55.9 and 105 respectively. So we can bump those up a little bit. We can put in... How many do we have free right now? Does this actually say? No, it does not. We have 1 free right now. Okay, let's go ahead and put that into motorized. That'll be fine. And we have another one. Okay, let's bump this up to 15 for right now. I'm going to keep it on the X1 here, so that should be completely fine. We're going to run out of military factory slots for these again eventually, so we'll just have to keep that in mind. We're up to 39 naval experience for right now. That's good. We are, of course, exercising down here in order to make ourselves about half a point per day. So that's great. Let's actually hop into our production here. And let's go down to here. And I would absolutely love to grab the 1944 Carrier Hull Mark 1 and start designing this. So I want these guys to be basically hangar space wherever we can. Because we want them to be very heavy into the aircraft and honestly a little vulnerable on their own. They can have some anti-air guns, that's fine. Radar 2, carrier engine 4, and then probably a dual-purpose secondary battery. Something along the lines of that. That'll cost us 43 to save. Okay, and we will call this the... Oh, hello. Delete that. There we go. Whoa! Supply Carrier Mark 1. There we go. And we can save that. And so we shall. These guys will go ahead and start producing the supply carriers. Actually, I'm going to wait until this one's done. And it's done. Supply carrier and supply carrier. Fantastic. We currently have some free dockyards, so I'm actually going to put in another line of supply carrier. We still have some free dockyards. Yeah, we still have 5 additional free. So let's put in 2 more lines of supply carriers. There we go. Just to make sure that we are fully ready to go. Actually, this is... yeah, this will be fine. We are currently lacking some rubber. I did not expect that we'd ever see that. I'm kidding. I definitely expected that. We can put in a fleet logistics specialist. Sure. Let's do it. Excellent. Okay, so when were those going to be put into service? The supply carriers are going to take 2 years. to build. That is extensive. I knew it would take a while. 2 years, though. Okay. 2 years it is. I mean, it makes sense. That is fine. That'll give us time to establish our naval superiority over basically everything here. We also have these unassigned troops over here, and it'll give us just general time to bulk things up. We can see that we are... Oh, we actually got reinforcements done over here. That's fantastic. Okay. Is there anywhere where we should that we don't have anybody? These guys are docked, but they're supposed to be active. Yeah, they'll figure it out. Everything is looking reasonably good. Our enemies have laid mines. Rude. This division can go on in over here. Wonderful. Oh, there's one extra unit here that should probably be moved over. There we go. We'll just continue putting these in. If we want to move... If we end up wanting to get into a war with Ming, then we can move some of these units over to this border. That's the idea. I would love to not be seeing Ayathayan Australia here with 80 infantry units on this wall here. Like, that's these lads. That is these lads. Okay. They only have 11 military factories in production. If only we could supply this area, right? We have a free military factory right now. Now, we did expect this to happen. I'm going to bump... Actually, I'm going to... We're doing fine on light tanks for now. Let's check our logistics. How are we doing on everything? We could use more mechanized and motorized. Those are getting drained. Okay. No, not N. Get out of here, N. There you go. Okay, so mechanized and motorized. We're going to bump these up to 5, and we're going to double the number of mechanized and motorized that are currently in production. Fine. Okay, let's get working on Strategic Bomber 3. Excellent. Specifically, I'm just trying to get a bunch of jets going on here. Now, we currently have a fighter wing of fighter 3s. I'm going to start putting in some jet fighters here. So, let's see. Where's our jet fighters? There we go. Okay, and we're going to have there be, say, 300 of these for right now. And these guys are, of course, going to be on air superiority. Up over here. They'll get out there eventually. Yeah, they recently arrived in the region, but they're going to be lacking fuel. But even so, these are far better fighters than what we had previously. I was going to say than what they have, but I have no guarantee of that because I haven't looked into what they have. They may well have jets. It's hard to say. Newfoundland is up to 4% communism. Excellent. This is coming to fruition. Inca is currently up to also 4%, slightly ahead. Okay. Sounds good. We'll just keep tossing these guys into these divisions for now. Let's check in on how our aircraft carriers are doing. Okay. We actually have some well underway currently. And by well underway, I mean we're about a month in. It's going to be some time. Set the default composition of air wings for this carrier. Ah. It can carry up to 100. Close air support, fighters, and naval bombers. I'm wondering if my entire plan here isn't going to work. Because I don't see an option to put transports on there. Excellent. Okay, we're going to just leave it as is. That default seems fine-ish. We are, of course, going to need to produce some of those, because our current planes are actually not going to work for that. But that's okay. We could put in some carrier fighters. We could put in some carrier bombers. Where were those? I don't see carrier bombers in this list. Do we not have them researched? We may not have them researched. Let's check here. Yeah, naval bombers. Okay. Exciting. And that's carrier bombers. There is no carrier variant for jets, it would appear. Okay. Sounds good. Well, we'll have to get that. And for right now, we can just have carrier fighters, and we'll have the single military factory there for now. It'll eventually start filling up, but not for a little bit. Excellent. Let's go ahead and grab as much rubber as we need for now. So I'm wondering then, if you can't supply via airdrops from aircraft carriers, in this sort of a situation, what is the intended way to supply these troops? I find that confusing. I mean, obviously we should pull back some of these troops, right? So we should delete all of the orders from the currently selected army, and let's just send them on over this way. Cannot transport from a non-naval base location. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Just come on over, guys. Let's get them out of here so that we have better supplies here, but it's still not going to be great supplies. But it'll be better, and we can start launching some level of attacks. Not that they'll be successful. We can just start working on some attrition. But yeah, look at this. No supplies over here. So yeah, the question then is, how are we intended to supply these in this situation? I legitimately don't know. If we can't supply them from aircraft carriers, the naval base has insufficient throughput. Brunei has capitulated. That's nice. So yeah, the naval base has insufficient throughput. We would need to capture a victory point and other naval bases, I would think. Except that's not really an option in this scenario. In order to do that, we need to first supply the troops, right? So I'm really struggling with how we're supposed to do that. Why are we here? Okay, I want to be in here. Let's go ahead and just research naval bombers. Okay. Free military factories. We'll just toss those over to carrier fighters for now. So these lads are very slowly on their way over. There's Jet Fighter 2. Fantastic. And let's grab... I think Heavy Fighter 2 will be fine. Not that we're probably going to use it. We are going to need to switch over to Jet Fighter 2, which is fine. This will be the last time that we switch this production line. So these are not what I was hoping to see. Where's Jet Fighter 2? Okay, did we not actually finish that? Was I confused? That's Jet Tactical Bomber. Enables Jet Fighter 2. Jet Fighter 2. Okay, I guess I'm just dumb. Well, we already knew that. Wonderful. Okay, so these guys are finally getting out of here. I mean, the other thing that we could do, I suppose, is let them... Oh my. That was my own fault. That's my new keyboard. Not being used to the pressure levels of it. The other thing we can do is let them fully resupply back here and just have like a cycle. So like these guys over here, they're fully supplied. So we can just cycle them in like one unit at a time and constantly change them out. That's something that we would have to do manually. But it is a possibility. We could do that. Grab Battlefleet Concentration. These guys are down to 20. Okay, so we have taken some losses there. Noted. So let's bring these guys in over here. There we go. Yes, we are lacking rubber. This is true. It is now time, however, to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, I'm going to continue thinking about... We are collapsing here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we have no supplies here. They're probably going to force our ally into capitulation here. But yeah, I mean, we were unable to solve the supply issue, and they just have superior numbers. So, that's pretty much just going to happen. For now, though, you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I'll see you all next time.